Aristo tribe.
Hey guys, what is going on? And welcome back to another episode of Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes, where just moments ago on the forums, the kit for Hermit Yoda was released, and I visited EA this weekend to check out territory battles, and I managed to get some footage of Hermit Yoda in action in arena with all of his Zetas and at Gear 11, and he is quite a fun character to use. To summarize what Hermit Yoda is all about, he is a pure support character, guys. No damage dealing attacks whatsoever, but he takes the Jedi Order to a whole other level and will be crucial to make Jedi a top tier threat in arena, but even beyond that, he will provide many benefits to non-Jedi allies. Hermit Yoda is going to be a cleanser that can dispel debuffs on a target ally of your choice. He also grants a very unique buff called Master's Training, and when your allies need it, he can stack up on your health and protection and fill them up. And lastly, when your allies have been defeated and Yoda is the last one standing, he goes and flees the battle. Two more things to point out here. Hermit Yoda's base speed is 160, which makes him a very speedy support character, and in order to unlock him and farm him, you will gain currency from the future territory battles due to your participation, and with those tokens you will gain, you can use them in the future new shipments that is coming along with the territory battles release. Stay tuned for more info. I have a complete in-depth guide and overview of territory battles due to my trip this past weekend at EA. But let's talk more in depth on each of his abilities and start up with his basic attack known as Master's Protection. This is his healing ability where all other allies recover 10% health and 5% protection, and if he has other Jedi allies, they gain 5% turn meter. Now this might not seem the greatest in the world, but the 10% health regeneration and 5% protection regeneration actually can be quite good because of the fact Hermit Yoda is a very quick character and frequently will be participating in battle, constantly stacking up the health and protection that your allies might be losing. Next up here, we have Master's Training, and this allows Yoda to grant a unique buff to an ally of your choice. So pretty much how it works is Yoda gains stealth for 2 turns, then he dispels all debuffs on a target ally of your choice, and you grant them this unique buff known as Master's Training until the end of the encounter. Then you call all allies with the Master's Training to assist, and this has a 3-turn cooldown. And in case you're curious, Master's Training has plus 25% accuracy, defense, offense, potency, and tenacity, can't be dispelled or prevented, and all of those stats that I mentioned are doubled on Jedi, meaning you will get plus 50% accuracy, plus 50% defense, offense, potency, and tenacity, which is quite a lot if you're pairing it up with the right characters. Again, since Hermit Yoda is a very quick character, you can get quite a few of these unique buffs off on some of your fellow allies. I have some footage where Hermit Yoda got 3, and I could have potentially got 4 characters with the Master's Training buff, so a lot of assists, a lot of damage output, and this can be quite deadly, especially when you're pairing it up with Jedi. Some of the best characters to give the Master's Training buff might be characters such as Jedi Knight Anakin, Aayla Secura, the young Yoda, or more importantly, Ezra Bridger. Since he has a ton of offense stacking, he can put out some major damage when he has the Master's Training, but even some non-Jedi, giving it to someone such as Rey or perhaps Chirrut Imwe due to the fact he has some crazy damage output, can be a great way to use Master's Training. And now for the last special ability known as Strength Flows from the Force. This is a healing equalization ability that also has a Zeta upgrade. As the whole thing reads, all allies have their current health percentages equalized, meaning health equalizing effects ignore healing immunity elements such as healing immunity as well as shock, kind of similar to Barriss as well as Chirrut Imwe. Then all allies recover 20% health and protection regeneration, and Jedi allies gain foresight for 2 turns, and this has a 4-turn cooldown. And in case you are curious, the Zeta upgrade adds the clause of giving 20% health and protection, and also giving the foresight, as well as reducing the cooldown from 5 to a 4-turn cooldown. Lots of ways to use this ability. Health equalization is a very powerful mechanic because it ignores so many healing preventing abilities such as healing immunity as well as shock, but the most obvious thing is the fact that he will have strong synergy with foresight and evasion based teams, especially with Qui-Gon Jinn's Zeta leadership due to the fact it provides a ton of foresight And even the young Grandmaster Yoda Zeta. When he has the Zeta, Grandmaster Yoda can give a ton of foresight. Paired with Hermit Yoda, there is just so much foresight flying around. And if you have characters that benefit from evading or having foresight, such as characters as Rey, or perhaps even an old Ben Kenobi leadership, this will give you tons of opportunity to benefit from those other types of synergy. And lastly, we have his two unique abilities. First one known as In Exile. At the start of the battle, Yoda gains stealth for 2 turns and has plus 100% evasion while stealth. So you cannot touch him or try to strip away his stealth because of the fact he has 100% evasion while stealth and when there are no active allies. So you have several options on how to go about taking care of a team with Hermit Yoda. You can tackle the other 4 characters around Hermit Yoda, and once those 4 characters are defeated, Hermit Yoda will walk away from the battle. Or you can try your best to nail down Hermit Yoda, but he will be very evasive, and if you do leave him unchecked, he will reset his cooldowns a lot, as we will see. And then for the synergy potential, there is a lot there. Since he has 100% evasion while under stealth, and because of the fact he also will probably get a lot of foresight, he will pair very well with evasion-based teams such as old Ben Kenobi's leadership. He will be evading a lot, gaining a lot of turn meter because of the fact you can't hit him with all of your AoEs you're trying to get out there, so do be wary of the fact he might benefit very well from other types of synergy. And then finally, we have the very last unique ability known as Do or Do Not. Whenever an ally with Master's Training is defeated, Yoda gains 100% turn meter and resets all of his cooldowns. The Zeta ability adds the clause to allow Yoda to reset all of his cooldowns. So once you defeat one of his allies, he will gain 100% turn meter and can immediately use Master's Training. Strength flows through the Force, or if need be, he can just go and recover 10% health and 5% protection. However, in the situation an ally is defeated and you have the Zeta, it is strongly recommended to analyze your battlefield and see if there is a need to heal all of your allies with Strength flows through the Force and to grant them foresight, or perhaps prepare another apprentice of Hermit Yoda with Master's Training and increase their damage output to bring the fight back to the enemy team who just defeated your ally. There is a ton of potential with Hermit Yoda here. A lot of ways to use him. Yes, he is great in a Jedi team, but as you see with his kit, he is going to be extremely flexible and can work in many different types of lineups you may choose to make. Using Strength flows through the Force is an amazing way of constantly topping off the health and giving a big protection boost to your allies and protecting them with foresight for the incoming enemy attack. And as we said, there's a lot of ways to use this with other foresight type of characters. As the forum post suggests, there is a lot of PvE and even raid potential for Hermit Yoda. In a Tebow leadership for the Rancor raid, Hermit Yoda will be an amazing opportunity to pair him up with him because of the fact Hermit Yoda can grant Tebow Master's Training, increase his potency, increase his damage, and when Hermit Yoda gives the bonus to other allies, Tebow will be called to assist and remove turn meter from the Rancor. So a lot of ways to use him. This also has potential in the AAT raid. A lot of strong Jedi teams, and giving them the Master's Training bonus will give Grievous the run of his money and also protect your Jedi and give them a lot of health if need be. Now let me wrap up my discussion by showing you a table of some suggested ways to use Hermit Yoda, as there are many ways, and a lot of these I tried out while visiting EA, and some of these I think may have a huge potential. One of my favorite lineups was using General Kenobi's leadership. One downside of using General Kenobi's leadership right now is that we do not have many characters that have an ability that do a frequent health spam, and that is what Hermit Yoda does. His basic is a frequent health spam for your team, and you will often call allies to assist because of the fact they are at 100% health. I'm a Gundai is another amazing opportunity to try out, and he may be useful in Arena, but more importantly, the AAT raid and other type of PvE aspects. His leadership allows Jedi to counterattack when they get hit, which means a lot of opportunities for Hermit Yoda to counterattack in the situation he does get hit, and when he counterattacks, he uses his basic, but he doesn't hurt the enemy, but instead he will just increase everyone's health and protection due to his basic attack and give turn meter. And on top of that, if you are granting his Master's Training buff to your fellow allies under Ima Gundai's leadership, when those Jedi counterattack with the Master's Training buff, it is going to bring a world of pain to the enemy. And then lastly, as I mentioned earlier, a Qui-Gon Jinn Zeta leadership is another obvious choice for Hermit Yoda due to the foresight he is giving to everyone, as well as Hermit Yoda's foresight, as well as Grandmaster Yoda's foresight that is being spread around, and Hermit Yoda will be a lot faster under a Qui-Gon Jinn Zeta team. And if you have characters such as Ezra Bridger, man oh man, he is going to pair amazingly well with Hermit Yoda. It stacks up his offense even more, and let's say Ezra already had the Master's training buff and Hermit Yoda gives it to another person, Ezra is called to assist, hitting probably 2 times and dealing a ton of damage to the enemy. And Ezra Bridger can call Hermit Yoda to assist, which means essentially Ezra is calling in a healer into battle. But ladies and gentlemen, Gungans and droids, that is pretty much Hermit Yoda right there. It is a big overview on him. He's going to be a very powerful character, and hopefully as you participate in territory battles, you will start nabbing some shards of him because he will be a very important character, I believe. If you did enjoy this video, please feel free to leave me a like. Also, comment down below, what do you think of Hermit Yoda? He is quite cool, and be sure to subscribe so you're not missing a thing. I have a very exclusive video coming out soon that gives you a complete overview and in-depth look at territory battles, which I recorded while at EA this weekend, so be sure to stay tuned for that. But until then, we will talk again very soon. Peace out.